Okay, what's up YouTube? My name is Galen and this is Galen's Gadgets. I want to thank you so much for joining my channel today. If you have not already, please do not forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos on budget technology just like this one. So today I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. This is a series I think I'm going to just start doing on my channel where I pull like some of my favorite tech articles that I see or Twitter articles that I see throughout the day because I see a ton. But today this one really stood out. So John Prosser is a very famous leaker. He's notorious for being able to get contacts from some major companies and get leaks on devices like super early. In this example, this is a Google Pixel device. So a few weeks ago, he leaked the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, and then a few days ago, Google actually had to post the pictures as themselves, just because I really think John had a lot to do with that, because they were just like spot on accurate. Only thing off was just like the color a little bit. So earlier today, John Prosser actually leaked the Pixel 5a. So we knew the Pixel 5a was coming towards the end of this month, and John was able to get like some of the specifications, and we're just gonna go over that today. So I'm actually on John's website, frontpagetech.com. He also has a YouTube channel called Front Page Tech. You can see the top, the Google Pixel 5a will be $450. And here are all of the specifications. So I think this is a great price for the 5a, just based on like the specs that I've seen earlier. We're going to go over that again today, and I'm just going to go over why I think this is just like a killer value in 2021. This is definitely going to be one of the best budget phones of the year. For $450, you're getting an awesome camera, and here's just some of the specs. So this is only going to be released in the U.S. and Japan, according to John Prosser, and this is supposed to be dropping on Thursday, August 26th. So we should see plenty of YouTubers break embargo on that day. It'll only be in one color. This mostly black color. That's actually the color of my Pixel 4a 5G. That was actually the only color of the 4a 5G when they first like got it, but they released a white color later. It will have a 6.4-inch screen, and it will be 60 hertz to 90 hertz forced. So what I think that believes is that only certain apps will like support 90 hertz, the apps that like need it, in which that 90 hertz is beneficial. It will also have a Snapdragon 765G, which is what they used on the Google Pixel 5 and the Google Pixel 4a 5G. The battery life is going to be crazy on this because they are adding a 4,650 milliamp hour battery. That's a pretty big number for a Google phone. Google phones historically have not like really needed like the biggest amount of battery capacity, but this is a very big battery, and I'm really excited to see what the battery life is on this Pixel 5a. It says it will not have wireless charging, of course. I'm guessing this is going to be made of plastic, and then it will have 6 gigs of RAM as well. This will have an IP rating, which is really good. The original A devices did not have an IP rating. The A devices from last year didn't even have an IP rating, so that's going to be good. And it will keep the headphone jack. I know a lot of people that will not buy a phone without a headphone jack, so this is going to be very useful. I'm really glad Google is keeping the headphone jack alive in their A series. So now to the right, I actually have like the specs pulled up of like some of the phones. First, I'm just gonna go with the Pixel 4a, because this is pretty much the successor. Another thing that's not mentioned in this article, I know the Pixel 5a will have 5G, so that's gonna be really it's gonna kill the Pixel 4a. I'll tell you that. The Pixel 4a came out at $400 even, so for $50 more, you're getting a lot more of a phone, honestly. You can see right here the Pixel 4a has a 5.8-inch display, again compared to the 6.4 on the Pixel 5a. And then the Pixel 4a only had a one camera on the back. The Pixel 5a has two cameras. It will have a 12 megapixel primary and then a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera on the back. Okay, display, and again, this has a higher, the Pixel 5a will have a higher refresh rate than the Pixel 4a, so that will be good just for like smoother scrolling and smoother animations and things. The battery capacity, again, the Pixel 5A absolutely kills the 4A's 3100 milliamp hour battery. It looks like they have the same amount of RAM and then the same amount of storage as well. This will have 128 gigs as well. This has a Snapdragon 730G processor. The Snapdragon 765G processor is significantly better. I did have the Poco X3, which had a 730, and the 765G is really close to a flagship in my opinion in terms of like everyday use. And again, the rear camera on the Pixel 4a, you only get that 12.2 megapixel, but on the Pixel 5a, you'll get the 12.2 megapixel and the 16 megapixel camera on the back so you get a lot more versatility. And then on the front, both of these cameras will keep that 8 megapixel. And then here's just like your video formats and everything. Sensors should be around the same. I'm really curious to see like if they implement like a quicker charging than this 18 watts. And of course it will have a USB-C spot. And yeah, that's really about it. And another major thing is that the 5A has 5G over the Pixel 4a. And the Pixel 4a does have like a lot more, a few more colors. I know they came out with a blue. I'm not sure if they had a white for the regular 4a, but I know they had a black. So yeah, let's go to the Pixel 5. So the Pixel 4a was the cheapest of Google's last generation of phones, and then the Pixel 5 was the most expensive. So the Pixel 5 was $700, and the screen was only 6 inches. So if you want a bigger screen, I know a lot of people will probably prefer that in 2021. This 6.4 inch is going to be significantly bigger than the 6.0 inch screen. The cameras are going to be exactly the same, 12.2 megapixels and then the 16 megapixel on the back. You will get a fingerprint scanner on both as well on the back. Okay, and then the Pixel 5 did have a 90 hertz refresh rate. And then again, this will have a adaptive like 90 hertz refresh rate, so it will have 90 hertz like when it matters. And then the battery life. The battery life is significantly bigger on the Pixel 5a. I heard the Pixel 5 had really good battery life, so I'm really curious to see if it'll be a significant improvement in battery life overall with the bigger capacity in the Pixel 5a. The Pixel 5 also has more RAM. It's probably just because that was Google's premium phone from last year. Most premium phone, I'll say. And then the processor is actually going to be the exact same, the 765G, so these should perform very similarly. Maybe the Pixel 5 will do a little better just with that extra RAM. And again, the cameras, I just mentioned that. It will have the same 8 megapixel front camera right here. Again, I'm really curious to see what charging is going to be like on the 5A. And yeah, that's basically it. So you're getting most of the things that the Pixel 5 had in this Pixel 5a, minus the like more premium back. And the Pixel 5 did support wireless charging as well. I'd say that's really the only thing you're missing compared to the Pixel 5a, and this is $250 cheaper. So finally, I'm going to compare it to the Pixel 4a 5G. This was like Google's middle brother last year, and this is what I think this Pixel 5a falls closest to in terms of like everything. The screen size is gonna be like pretty much around the same size. This is 6.4, this is 6.2. I have the Pixel 4a 5G, and in my opinion 6.2 is like the perfect size for a phone. In my experience anyway with my hands. You'll get the exact same cameras as the Pixel 5 on the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5a. So that 12.2 main camera, and then the 16 megapixel ultra wide. And then this had a 3800 milliamp battery. For me, that's been average. I think the screen had a lot to do with it. It's a pretty big screen. And then the Pixel 4a 5G also did not have the 90 hertz refresh rate. It only has a 60 hertz refresh rate. This Pixel 5a will have 60 hertz, but it will like adapt to 90 hertz like when it matters. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The RAM capacity is the same. The storage capacity is the same. The processors are the same. Another big thing I think the Pixel 5a has over the 4a 5G is the IP rating. The Pixel 4a 5G does not have a formal IP rating, so yeah, that should be more waterproof than the Pixel 4a 5G. And yeah, they both should have like pretty much the similar bands when it comes to terms of network connectivity. And yeah, that's really about it. Both of these are plastic builds. I'm pretty sure this is like the exact same thing with a bigger screen on the Pixel 5a and then a higher refresh rate. So, yeah, I'm really curious to see people get their hands on this 5a. I probably won't be getting one because I'm waiting on the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. So yeah, if you have any questions about this Pixel 5a, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'm gonna end this video now.